Welcome to My Long Island TV. From Manhasset to Montauk, we have traveled our communities to bring you the following events. I'm your host, Waldo Cabrera. My Long Island TV starts now. Now that the weather is warming up, one of Long Island's most iconic landmarks is the site of an annual celebration.
It's Kickoff the Summer day at the Fire Island Lighthouse. We have a lot of activities going on today. We have the Junior Ranger program by the National Park Service, doing activities as far as hikes and walks around, as far as both the history and also the natural history.
To be clear, this is a celebration of summer, not the seasonal opening of the lighthouse. The Fire Island Lighthouse never closes.
We are open year-round. We have tower tours every day with using our over 140 volunteers who come here to help us operate it. We have events at least once a month, whether it be a sunset tour onto the top or a sunrise tour.
Few people are aware that there was another Fire Island Lighthouse. It was only 74 feet tall, which didn't make it an effective enough navigational aid for ships.
This is the current lighthouse that was built in 1858. It's 168 feet tall, 182 steps to climb to the top, and we get 7,000 school children here a year and also over 100,000 visitors.
The Fire Island Lighthouse is owned by the same government agency that oversees Mount Rushmore, the Statue of Liberty, and our national parks.
The building in the lighthouse is owned by the National Park Service. The beacon on the top is a private aid to navigation, which the Coast Guard no longer wanted to use, so we then took over the operation and the maintenance of it 6 years ago, and it still has a historic sweep that flashes every 7.5 seconds, and it still guides ships.
Joining the festivities were members of the Explore the South Shore Promotion Committee. Among them were the Sac the Coast Manor, the Long Island Maritime Museum, and the Walt Whitman Birthplace.
Walt Whitman was born in Huntington, which of course is on the North Shore, and so he often was at the beach, enjoyed the beach and the marsh, and wrote about it often. So it's appropriate that we're here today and we have Walt reading his poetry.
And when he heard of that obscure Illinois lawyer Hall, he wasn't much impressed, but then he read the Lincoln-Douglas debates.
Well, the public, certainly they're connecting him at this time with Abraham Lincoln. Wrote one of our favorite American poems about Abe, "Oh Captain, My Captain, Our Fearful Trip is Done." And he also wrote "When Lilacs Last and the Dooryard Bloomed," about his reaction to the death of Abraham Lincoln.
"Oh Captain, my Captain, our fearful trip is done. The ship has weathered every rack. The prize we sought is won.
Walt behind me is amazing. Darrell Ford is one of the loyal members of our association, but he's also the living history. He makes Walt come alive. He's a personator, and he's very active in the community. So for people who can't get to us, Walt goes to them.
In an instant, we went from leaves of grass to rocking the house when a flash mob formed in the terrace.
We were invited here by the lighthouse. These are a lot of our students, our instructors, they're all here. And we're just having a good time. We do this wherever we go. We have everybody from 7 years old right on up to 90s.
After the dancing was done, there was only one thing left to do.
I want to go up.
But we had trouble getting Migdalia to come along.
I don't know. I'm a little afraid of heights, but I'll go with maybe my grandson.
While Migdalia looked for her grandson, we walked up the 182 spiraling steps to the top, and it was worth the climb. The day was clear enough to see the New York City skyline, which is about 40 miles away. You can also climb a few steps above the observation deck to get a close-up look at the rotating light. Down on the ground, the beach and the surrounding landscape is just as beautiful. The tall grass and the view of the Atlantic Ocean make it a special walking experience. Most importantly, you'll be surprised how quickly you can get here.
It's an easy walk from Parking Field 5 at Robert Moses State Park. It's all boardwalk, and it just feels like you're in a whole different world when you come out here.
Cabrera. My Long Island TV starts now.